graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at Smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is podcasting.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Go to iTunes now and subscribe. For Android users, we are available on the Stitcher app for Google. Now, here's Chris and Kristyn.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn. Welcome back. Chris, you have amazing news. I know you're dying to tell.
And it
took
me
like a schoolgirl when he was telling me. It was great. He's so excited.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's the day after the Kevin Smith book signing.
So it hasn't even been 24 hours.
It hasn't even been 24 hours. This time, 24 hours ago, I was still in line waiting for the Kevin Smith book signing.
It's also surreal.
Because they were recording for season 2 of Kevin Smith's show, Comic Book Men. And like I was describing to you before the show, it's on AMC. They're recording it now because they're also recording season 3 of Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, right.
And Walking Dead...
Huge hit.
Huge hit. The comic book itself, it's still going on, mind you. That's how great it is. They're doing a TV show. Now,
it's like zombies, right?
It's,
we've
gone
into like
TV
the whole
show about zombies.
Zombie era here on TV, I feel.
And it catches, like, the real desperateness of if the world really went...
Zombies.
Zombies. And, zombies are always used to represent some sort of natural disaster. You know what I'm saying?
Something happens.
So it's people literally living with just what they have and driving in cars and trying to stay away from the disaster and stay away from the zombies.
Basically us in December, right? That's the apocalypse, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is foreshadowing what's going to happen.
When the world blows up. And like I
mentioned
in other episodes,
take notes. What
shit
I gotta
is
do.
happening. We got shootings everywhere.
Just another one today, right?
And right now,
the
right we
Empire
started
State
recording. I was in Empire State Building. Now that was Friday, and I was driving down to New York City on Friday.
Did you hear it?
I'm on the FDR Drive. Now, mind you, I love podcasts so much. I don't listen to the radio in my car. I mean, I listen. I use the Stitcher app, which we're available on.
Yeah,
and I could truly attest to using Stitcher. I love it so much, and I drive 6 hours from Rochester to New York City. So I'm on the FDR Drive, and now I think it already happened, but there's still cops and stuff.
It happened in the morning, so
and by the time I got into New York City, it was about I would say about 11, 12 or something like that.
Yeah, it already happened.
Yeah.
And did you see the video?
The video? No, I didn't see the video.
Oh, it's like, because I guess 9 other people got injured, bystanders, and it's all from the police.
From the police-friendly fire.
Not even from the other guy, like shrapnel or whatever the hell they call it. But there's a video, obviously, somebody took, and, they just basically shot him dead. Mm-hmm. But you can see, like, the other NYPD, just their aim is off.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we should go to Target, because it's like shooting over here. It's like, no wonder why other people got hit.
And, look, my brother works for NYPD. I have friends that work for NYPD. Unfortunately, they're really lowering their standards.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because basically the older guys signed a contract, and basically, like, they got a raise, but what that raise entails is fucking all the future generations of guys who are going to become cops.
That's good. That's real safe.
It happens.
So this is why this shit happens.
The same thing happened when I was working in corrections.
Yeah.
We signed a contract that fucked the next...
now,
fuck
how
the guy,
do you fuck
fuck him?
them?
I'm already in the system. No, like let's just say you're supposed to get, I'm just going to throw a number out there. You're supposed to get $35,000 a year.
Okay.
So the people who already have the job say, the city would go, okay, we'll give you the raise, but the new guys are only going to get $30,000 a year.
Okay.
And so, of course, you're going to vote it in because fuck them. I'm already here. And, it's like if you're on a lifeboat, sinking in the Titanic, like, we could all take a vote,
I'll get on a boat. All the guys get on one boat.
Everybody can get on the boat.
Children and women aside.
And,
screw you,
we
Rose.
can all use these boats and screw the rest of the people running towards them.
Leo running to the boat. Rose is, like, dead in the water. That's how it really should have ended.
And so now NYPD is really, like, I don't want to say scraping the bottom of the barrel, but like, before you couldn't even get the job if you had like little misdemeanors and stuff like that on a record.
Yeah, I think now they're letting, because so many people have misdemeanors, I feel.
Yeah, like, as long as the only one is like, the one obviously big one is like no felonies and stuff like that, but you know.
Probably like if you got caught, substance, you know, like, or do they let that fly? So you can
see, you know, not for nothing, you know.
I'm going to apply.
And NYPD, and I don't know if I said in another episode, is like the 7th largest organized...
Yeah, you told me,
in the world, so it's like an army. So but you know they're
maybe we should build it up like an army
to keep it that size. You know their hiring
costs money.
The standards have gotten a lot lower.
That's
and
bad.
Not for nothing, you see some cops, and it's fucking hoodlums in uniform.
Well, it always amazes me just to see cops in general, not just NYPD, because you know you got to go through the physical tests and all that stuff. I mean, some are huge, and it's like.
Well, once you get the job, they can't fire you to be fat. So,
but it's like, I mean, what if something really went down? I have to trust you. Like, you gave up on yourself after you got hired, right? And this guy, like, you can see like the other people around NYPD shooting, and you could see like blatantly some of them are just bad aim, and they're not far from each other. Like, it's not like he's across the street. They're on the same side. They're only 5-6 feet away from each other. Like, why is your aim so bad?
You should be able to hit
human.
Something. You know.
I mean,
then again, you know, you also
don't know like what the hell he was doing. Like, if they close their eyes and shot, like,
if
what
there's
happened?
someone with a gun, I mean, you're obviously under stress and everything like that. So maybe your aim is not going to be that great. You know, just playing devil's advocate.
Right.
And
I don't know what they were, but it just it looked bad on NYPD's part.
On a Friday morning in Empire State Building, you know, fucking how many thousands of people were probably in that area alone. And I feel bad for the people who work in that building because, you know, after Friday, I'm pretty sure there's like tons of security, probably waiting 45 minutes even to just get inside the building. Over this one guy that was pissed off because he came after an old cold worker.
Yeah, it was like a year later.
A year ago.
A year later.
And they had reports against each other. But obviously, it wasn't anything big enough to have like order of protection. Yeah. It was just little bullshit police reports.
And all the neighbors, you know, say, yeah, he's a quiet, nice guy.
It's always the quiet guy.
Lover.
That's why.
But I guess for like a year, they're like, yeah. So they don't really know what he was doing for a year because every morning he still did the same thing. Got up, got dressed for work, and left.
Oh, he's one of those.
Where were you going during that time?
He's probably stalking his coworker because I think they said something to the fact that he was waiting to catch like his boss coming in or something like that.
For a year? You got up at 7 a.m., got dressed.
Revenge is a motherfucker. You know, revenge is
I think he just
bitch, and so am I.
We got to be careful of the nice neighbors.
Yeah,
it's always a nice
it's always
neighbors.
The scumbags.
He was such a great guy.
Well, yeah,
wouldn't suspect anything. Remember that? They had this certain name which I can't think of how he killed people. He was that older guy. I think it was like a teacher.
Not Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, this was like 5 years ago.
It
was like not BTK. Was that something?
Yeah,
something like
bind, torture, kill.
Yeah, him.
BTK.
Remember, and everybody was like, he's such a nice guy.
Such a nice guy. It's always
the
nice guys.
He killed like 20 people or whatever. It's like, oh.
That's why people, you know, I'm not a serial killer because I'm a scumbag.
I know. We already know I'm safe with Chris. Thanks, Chris, for being a scumbag.
Exactly. And it's, you know, so, and it's like...
We appreciate the scumbags in the world.
Like well, not a joke, but... You know, you were saying earlier that there was a school shooting today in a suburb of Baltimore.
I just was bringing up my iPad, and again, I mean, how many times have I come here and then I'm like, another school shooting? Like, what the hell? 15 years old.
School shooting. And first and foremost, I didn't even know school was back in session now, but apparently it is.
Some start early. Like,
because we're not even on Labor Day yet.
Because it was in Maryland. But usually I've heard of like the West Coast starting like this early.
Oh, okay.
But the East Coast I've never, but I guess...
Well, their summers are a little different, so I think they can...
I've never heard of really the East Coast, but I guess Maryland does.
Yeah.
So it was a suburb in Maryland, but I guess only shot one person, I don't know who, but they're not dead. And
I commented...
A teacher subdued them.
You only see school shootings in nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because in the ghetto, they don't even bother going to school.
Those are just called the,
they just shoot each other in the street.
Yeah. We don't got to go to school to do that shit. They probably laugh at us white people. They're like, look at these fools. They're going to get caught.
That's why I don't go to school. I don't want to get shot.
Why would I go to school? I'll get shot.
Street safer.
Jeez. Do some homeschooling. So
back to the
big news, Chris.
Okay. Well, no,
I mean,
cool there's a bunch of, little bits of good news.
Yes.
So going down, like I was mentioning before, The Walking Dead on AMC. To support The Walking Dead, there's a whole other show called Talking Dead.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's such a phenomenon.
Who talks on it?
The main host is Chris Hardwick, the host of the Nerdist podcast, which I like. I'm not a big fan of his. And
used to co-host Singled Out.
And he used to co-host Singled Out.
Great
and
show.
I've beaten up on Matt and Jonah.
Yes, you have.
And actually, Jonah mentioned me in a podcast.
Chris!
He didn't say my name. But he said, yeah, the guy was bashing me and Jonah. Then he was also bashing Eugene Merman, which is the guy from the Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast.
You're giving us bad PR.
He brought me up.
You did good this weekend, but you had to bash him.
I mean...
So, did you tweet him?
I tweeted him. And then
of course,
I tweeted back and I was like, I feel bad.
Sorry about that, man.
They were talking about how people bash him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, a couple days after I bashed him on Twitter... And then they got into this whole conversation about, you know, like, they go and visit, there's like a fan that has cancer in the hospital and they're going to visit him. And I'm like, now I feel like the biggest scumbag on the planet. And so...
At least they're going and visiting fans.
You know, but you know what it is
I think it's probably
they're generally rude.
Yeah.
You know, and that's part of
the show.
It's part of their act, their shtick is they're rude. So... If you're going to be rude, don't get all sensitive when people are rude to you on Twitter. I mean, I could be rude and I could be obnoxious, but at least I'm trying to be funny. Unless you hear me genuinely angry.
Chris, you know when you get, technical happens, you're fuck! And he's like, I'm really sorry about that.
Fucking Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
God damn it, KimYe! They call him KimYe now.
KimYe, oh my god. Now, last episode we were talking about astronauts who went to the moon.
Right.
And in the news, Neil Armstrong passed away.
Oh, Neil.
And so...
Are we like...
And we did that episode...
keep talking about the Kardashians.
That's what I'm saying. So last week we were talking about people on the moon. So I'm going to start talking about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
Power couple. Power couple for doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But
some do something.
You know, it's funny that two people that I absolutely can't stand are now a couple.
Right.
Like, you know.
It's a perfect couple.
The perfect storm of people that I can't stand.
And I catch, you know, sometimes, I really don't watch Channel 39 here, which is E!
Uh-huh.
I used to watch it a lot, but not so much anymore. They got kind of whack shows on there, and it's all the Kardashian shows now. Mm-hmm. So I catch it here and there when nothing's on. So last night I was watching it, and it was Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it was when Oprah comes over to visit, or to interview the whole family. So it's huge news, like everyone, not to visit. But comes to their house, and, you know, they're all so excited. Mm-hmm. But, like, before that, like, Kanye's now starting to come on the show, but they're not saying they're dating. It's, you know, they're just... but he's on every episode now. Yeah. He brings his stylist over, and they clean out all of Kim's closet. And are going to set up a new... Like, what? That's kind of weird, right?
Self-importance and douchiness.
Yeah. Like, if I was dating someone who's like, you know what, we're going to do a whole new makeover on your fashion. And she was all for it in, like, her interview thing. She's like, Kanye's bringing his stylist over, and, you know, I find it great. I'm going to be my own person. He's, you know, and I'm like, you're not really
How are you being your own person
when somebody else is doing... Like, they literally cleared out her whole... And she was donating everything, you know. But... There was so, like, it was cleaned
for the
out.
big-assed homeless.
I know, right? Like, it's not going to fit anyone. You have to be her shape, which is rare. Not a lot of homeless people.
Not many homeless people have a badunkadunk.
Yeah, have Kim Kardashian's body. Because if they did, they wouldn't be homeless.
For the homeless bootilicious.
Yeah. Like, there was a ridiculous amount of shoes she was giving me. I was like, you're just a douche for showing us that you have this many shoes that you can get rid of. And you still have a lot left over. But it's like, when they showed, like, the closet, it was, like, all empty except for, like, some shirts, like, here and there. It was like, wow, you're really doing a whole makeover, girl.
Oh, God. And it's funny, like, two people I can't stand. And then also,
they're a perfect couple.
Aziz Ansari,
who I really... Dating?
No, but he's friends with Kanye West, and that's part of his act.
He's a name dropper.
If I could only hope Aziz Ansari in the same car with his best friend Kanye West and Kanye West's girlfriend Kim Kardashian, I hope they all go on a nice...
With Lindsay Lohan driving?
I like Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, but Lindsay Lohan would cause the action. Or Lindsay Lohan come in the other way. Yeah. Or Amanda
Bynes, yes.
Amanda Bynes and Lindsay Lohan in one...
That's sad that we both came up with that at the same time.
They're at an intersection. Amanda Bynes coming from one side,
makes
Lindsay
Lindsay
from the
Lohan
other.
swerve.
And then Kim Kardashian, Aziz Ansari,
and Kanye West.
Their car
for like
blows up.
a Labor Day weekend blowout.
Wow. Chris, we might actually make that happen, seeing as how Neil
not
just
that
died.
we were talking about astronauts going to the moon last episode, and now Neil Armstrong's dead.
Big prediction.
But only the best.
Big Hampton Drive.
To KimYe.
We
keep veering off topic.
Chris, get your story out. You went to go see your buddy.
So we went to the signing, and so,
in Jersey.
like I said, this is for season 2 of Comic Book Men. And season 1, had only had like 6 or 7 episodes.
Just
I believe they're going for more episodes. But I think the first episode is going to be about the book signing. And
there's Chris.
For those, and I got my Two Strangers, One Podcast t-shirt on. I have the patch. It looks very official, but it was just, it's a homemade Michael's.
It's simple. Michael's, he loves Michael's. We're promoting
all the stuff I bought at Michael. Well, no, I think the shirt I bought at Walmart, because I don't think Michael sells Forex.
And gets specially made.
I just wanted it to be comfortable.
It's simple, and it gets straight to the point.
It's
awesome.
It's like a calling. It's a calling card. Now,
he's one of those, you're a walking billboard.
I'm a walking billboard. I said,
Forex billboard.
I would assume that people who like Kevin Smith's podcast would like our show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We have Kevin Smith introing the goddamn show. I got Kevin Smith advertising my book.
It's just a little obsession over here, that's all.
But Kevin Smith is a hero of mine because it's, I love making something from nothing that that
true,
if you have a true love and desire,
true Hollywood story,
and and I got the big, trust me, I got the drama true Hollywood story. When they're ready,
Chris is filled from rags to riches.
When they're ready to take my story, I got fucking drama on top of drama.
It'll be like a 2-parter.
Yeah, let me tell you, this podcast is keeping me off the streets. This podcast is keeping me from hurting people.
Doing those school shootings.
And school shooting, I didn't even go to the school. Just some random guy showed up at school, started shooting people.
Some Forex guy in a Two Strangers One Podcast shirt. That would be great publicity.
It'd be like a motherfucker.
Chris, don't you dare. We don't need the negative
I'm
press.
In the fucking ground. He warned us in the podcast.
He warned us. There were signs months before.
You'll get fucking famous, though. If I do some shit like that. You'll get your own e-reality show.
I'll be like, I didn't see it coming.
Survivor podcast. And like they'll be interviewing you.
Damn story.
We should have seen the signs.
Okay, no. Like episodes before, it's like shit. This has been going on for a while. He's been plotting this.
So I got this shirt, and like I said, I'm assuming Kevin Smith fans, since I'm a Kevin Smith fan, would like our show. So I have this shirt, big bold letters, Two Strangers, One Podcast.
And the signing was only supposed to be like a couple hours, right?
The signing was supposed to be from 2:00 to 5:00, and they actually had a sign that said end of the line, which I was actually behind.
Ooh.
When I got
there, should have just moved the sign.
I got there literally exactly there at 2:00.
Wow.
Now, on all the advertising they've been doing for it says get there early. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get there early. I was leaving from New York City. Getting through the Holland Tunnel was a nightmare. Then, on top of that, I'm a little nervous, so I had to stop at a rest stop and relieve myself, and just a little too much information.
Chris got nervous. He was like a giddy schoolgirl. He's going to go see his idol.
So we go.
That would be me, meaning Channing. I'd have to relieve myself.
Yeah, and then plus I know I was going to be in line for a little while, so let me make sure
it wasn't a 3-hour
bladder
deal.
Is clear. I've been to enough concerts and stuff like that. Well, I was anticipating just 3 hours, but I didn't get a chance to meet Kevin Smith until 9:00. I was online for 7 hours, and.
Did your legs hurt?
And that sound, my friends, is the sound of technical difficulties.
Something we're no stranger to.
I couldn't plan that if I wanted to. It's not a joke. It's not a gimmick.
No,
but this technical difficulty is brought to you by One Wrestling Videos on YouTube.com/One Wrestling. That's number 1. Wrestling video. My friend Ray Hernandez has Big Ray's Wrestling Show. He reviews WWE, TNA, what's that other one?
Tits and ass. Sorry.
Total nonstop action.
I guess that's what it means.
So this technical difficulty was brought to you by Big Ray's Wrestling Show and One Wrestling Video. Go to YouTube and visit YouTube.com/One Wrestling Video. One Wrestling Video. Goddamn.
Way to go, Chris.
And so
7 hours in line.
7 hours in
Kevin
line.
Kevin Smith, for the love of Kevin
legs,
Smith.
And surprisingly enough, no, my legs didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I just feel like I'd be leaning up
ached.
against a building.
I want to give a shout out to all the people that are around me in line. It was just a cool group of people.
They were your people.
Yeah, these are
you
my
all
people.
shared the same interests.
And what had happened was, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Steve, who also goes by the name Get 'em Steve Dave. And for people who are fans of the show, Tell 'em Steve Dave, which is Kevin Smith's friends, Bryan Johnson, Walt Flanagan, Ming Chen. They do a show called Tell 'em Steve Dave on Kevin Smith's Smodcast network. And so this kid, Steve, who goes by the name Get 'em Steve Dave, he's been on their show a billion times. Now it shows you how crazy the internet is, because, and I've heard his name, but obviously I didn't know his face, you know, so I didn't recognize him. So we're all talking and stuff like that, and I'm like,
suddenly did he say I'm Steve Dave?
And then he goes, oh yeah, I'm Get 'em Steve Dave. I'm like, oh shit. You know? And so, but apparently, I mean, I listened to Tell 'em Steve Dave, but I must have missed it.
Yeah.
I must have missed it. I must have missed it. And, he was on more episodes than the ones, I thought I'd listened to every episode. Apparently I was wrong, but, he's been on a bunch of them, and there were kids around him asking questions and stuff like that, so.
When you were talking with him, you didn't recognize his voice, or did you? And
I
you were
guess
like,
I didn't. I definitely recognized the name, but when he said, Get 'em Steve Dave, but, it just, I guess it didn't click in my head or whatever.
Maybe he's got, a different voice
I mean, not that he has a plain voice, but I mean, some people have a certain inflection or something like that, and, but a big shout out, because he was kind of and now mind you, he knows all the guys, the AMC crew that were recording, people come by, people are saying hi to him, and I'm like, why are you on the back of the line with me at 2:00? You should be up front.
Everyone knows him.
Everybody, the guys from the store,
they
they know him. The crew from AMC, the people recording comic book.
Yeah, at least he's not I need to be going the front. He's humble.
He went and he waited basically with us 7 hours.
He was I'm Steve Dave. I'm going to the front. See ya, bastards.
Get him, Steve Dave. Get him.
Get him, Steve Dave.
And what had happened was he was actually on. He had his 10 Seconds of Fame on Comic Book Man Season 1. There's an episode where there's all this stuff, all this crap they can't sell in the comic book store, so they take it out to the local flea market. Because there's just some stuff that's just not going to sell. Yeah. So okay, let's take it to the flea market. So Get 'em Steve Dave is
take it to the streets.
On one scene where they had these commemorative Star Trek plates.
Ooh.
The ones that everyone's grandparents...
I can see you eating off that shit.
Yeah, no, well, actually,
licking the plate.
You can't eat off those because the paint is poisonous. They're meant strictly for decoration.
Where were they made?
Oh, I don't know, probably some No, but those are I think those are the Franklin Mint. Star Trek Enterprise.
And you can't
plates,
eat off them.
Which generally go the retail price was $24, but since they just wanted to get rid of it, they sold it to Get 'em Steve Dave for $10.
Wow!
And let me tell you, I wish I knew, because I would have gladly bought. If I would have known, but I'm so far away from the Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, Kevin Smith's comic book store. I would have bought them a long time ago for $10. So Get 'em Steve Dave, and he's like a collector. But he likes to collect odd shit. He has the MacGruber 35mm trailer, in the tin and everything like that.
Wow.
He just collects the weirdest stuff.
Random.
He's a big Zippo lighter fan. And he showed me a picture. He has it's a freaking altar.
Zippo lighter collection.
To Zippo. And he goes to flea markets and stuff like that, and and of course, in that part of Jersey, it's all negotiation and stuff like that. So all his stuff is, he doesn't just go to the store. It's easy to go to the store and buy stuff. It's more the collector's items and stuff like that. So he's a big Zippo fan lighter. A big Zippo lighter fan.
Yeah, there you go. Zippo fan lighter.
Zippo fan lighter. So, first and foremost, shout out to Get 'em Steve Dave. He's on Twitter. Get 'em, GITEM, Steve Dave. And he has 11,000 followers. So he retweeted one of my tweets. We were next to each other. So I wouldn't be surprised if that helped us break the 300 mark. Oh, no, yeah, I tweeted him in line. No, we were right next to each other. Retweet? And he retweeted me right there. And it's so funny, you're supposed to be socializing with the people around you, and everyone's got their phones out, tweeting and shit like that. You are surrounded by hundreds of people, and
I'll socialize with you through through my phone, even though you're behind me.
I can just say hi. You're standing
hi. Retweet
12 inches away from me. A foot away.
Oh, this fucking world.
And so there was Steve.
7 hours. Yeah, Steve.
Then
Steve,
a little bit ahead of me, there was this couple with their kid, Ray, Liz, and their son's name was Cairo, which was a great, interesting name. Ray is a... No. Here's... Liz was Italian, and I interviewed them. And to all the people that I said, I'm going to release that episode, but right now I'll just shout you guys out because, Kristyn's working now, so I don't know when you're going to come back.
I'm just so busy.
So you're going to be busy. I don't want to,
Once you get a job, Chris cuts you out of his life.
No! Look, this is more than a podcast. This is a way of life. You're not going to dedicate yourself. You're just going to go work because you need money to eat.
Just going to get some money to support yourselves.
Screw that.
Maybe I'll give some money to the podcast. Oh my God, he's so mean.
And so, Ray was Dominican and Liz was Italian. And
it's a sexy couple.
We were, and they have, their kid. The kid was adorable.
I was going to say, there's got to be a sexy baby, like a cute little baby.
And I got to say, for a kid that waited in line for 7 hours...
Yeah. You did well?
I'm surprised. Very, very well behaved. I'm surprised he didn't fucking rip everybody's hair out. Mom let him use her phone, so the kid's playing, like, Minecraft and Plants vs. Zombies.
Downloading random shit.
And he was watching videos of Fanboy and Chum Chum and all this stuff. So, but it shows you how us Latin men are, because though Liz was Italian, she knew all about Spanish food. Like her and I had a conversation, and actually, then get him Steve Dave. He's a nice guy, but he's a white boy. We say
nothing wrong with white people, Chris. I'm white.
And he was talking about tamales in a can.
Oh,
and he actually because he works at a racetrack. Now, coincidentally, working at a racetrack, and it's being real here. All his coworkers are Spanish.
Really?
The people who ride the horses, like up here in Rochester, the horse track. Mm-hmm. I used to work at the Radio Shack that was down the road for them. All the guys that came in from Puerto Rico.
The ones that ride the horses?
The ones that ride the horses.
They're and
more
jockeys.
Petite. Yeah, jockeys. That's the right word. I was trying to think of the word. We had jockeys come in like once a week. Really? Easily. And they were all Puerto Rican. I mean, my Spanish was, I can understand, but I don't.
Yeah.
I can't talk. And, those guys go through fucking, the prepaid cell phones and stuff like that.
Really?
Like the Virgin Mobile and the Track phones and the Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile.
Those guys go through it. And I don't know if it's maybe because
why are they
those things get beat up because you're surrounded in the dirt and you're active. Or whenever I see someone with a lot of phones, I think either drug dealer,
right, something's up,
or maybe you have a lot of girlfriends.
There you go.
You got to have your good boy phone and your bad boy phone.
Well, they travel with their racing. So
you got the good
one
phone. Every guy's supposed to have that's your good boy phone.
Yeah, your good boy phone.
And then you get the disposable bad boy phone.
Sick fuck.
Good boy phone and your naughty boy phone. It's a
Here
song.
we go.
And so.
Because if you don't finish this story...
That shows you, but I'm just saying, I'm going to talk about these. So Liz, it's so funny being, she's Italian, and it's not like Italians aren't known for their cooking, but
we are.
She knew about chicharron, she knew about pernil, which is roast pork.
Empanadas.
Chicharron, chichos is like, if you grab someone's fat, they're love handles, you call those chichos.
Okay.
So it's like fried chicken skin with fat on it, chicharron de pollo, pernil, which is roast pork. And so, see, us Latin men, we get you indoctrinated. Look, when you live in mom's shadow, you got big fucking shoes to fill. So
this is what we're eating.
She was pretty knowledgeable about Spanish. She knew about liking the Dominicans in particular, like the burnt rice at the bottom of a
you were telling me that. It's like the tree.
You use
What's
a cast iron, con.
Con.
Because when you scrape it off the bowl, it goes con.
It's like the tree.
Also sounds like Law and Order. Con. And
Stabler.
So then, so once again, big shout out to Ray, Liz, and Cairo.
Great parenting. Your kid
the
held
kid
out for
was
7
so
hours.
well-mannered. And I mean, he's a kid, he's dancing around and stuff like that.
But he when
he gets a little antsy and stuff like that, but for the most part...
get out of control and are like, you have to leave.
I don't think my stepson would have waited 7 hours in line. He would have fucking...
7 hours is a work day.
He would have kicked me in the shins. So then there was... Now... And I was interviewing them. There was Chris. I don't know if he wants to be called Chris or Christian, and his son. Excuse me. Kristyn.
Kristyn. Let's
I'll
call
just
him
call
that.
him Kristyn.
I like that.
And Oliver. Now, these kids are probably 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
And I got to give them props because the conversation kind of veered on how, like, kids don't know about technology. Kids don't know. A kid doesn't know about a record player.
Right.
You know, a kid doesn't know about a VCR. And these kids were hip. You know, they said, now, you know, and I don't want to, I hope Kristyn doesn't feel, like, embarrassed. But, you know, he was there with his grandmother. But let me tell you, his grandma was, like, the hip grandma. I mean, someone had to take him out. It's not like no one's going to let a 12-year-old out to just stand in line for 7 hours. And I guess being with grandma and grandma's old school, so that's how they knew about the Commodore 64, the Atari 2600,
and they're only 12, 13. That's
I got to give them much props to Kristyn and Oliver because I was drilling them. I was like, because I was like, you kids are so spoiled. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's impressive.
And, they held up their half of the conversation.
Because, probably when I was 12, 13, so 10-something years ago, whatever, the DVD was probably coming out.
Oh, okay.
So, they would have been, 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they grew up with,
ago, that's 2000?
Yeah.
1999.
That was the beginning of the transition.
Yeah.
That's
were talking
impressive
about
that they know stuff
and,
before that.
Yeah, that's talking to me about Super Nintendo games.
Wow.
And all stuff like that. So much props to Kristyn
and Oliver.
And then I have it on tape, and I don't know if I'm going to play it or not because we got into this whole conversation about comic books.
With who?
With Chris and Oliver.
Oh.
About comic books and comic book movies and stuff like that. Now, obviously, they knew more than me because I haven't...
You're into it, but not that
comic book,
yeah.
I haven't purchased a comic book in a long time. Unless it's one specific one that I like. I buy Kevin Smith's comic books and stuff like that. But it's so funny that a 35-year-old man... having a legitimate conversation
so serious.
With 12, 13-year-old...
Comic books, it's for any age, you can...
About, and it's weird because they're at that age where comic books are still, very important. And then, in about a year or two, they're going to get into girls, they're going to forget about comic books. But trust me, guys, when you get older, you'll come back.
Don't throw them out.
It's okay. Hold on to your stuff. And actually, they were getting, everybody, they had some comic books there, and they got, everybody's autograph. So their stuff, they got... Kevin Smith wrote a couple of issues of the Green Arrow, and which is may end up in your world. Arrow is coming out on the CW. They're doing a show, and it's kind of...
Is it based off that?
It's going to be kind of the way Smallville was.
I was going to say, is it like a Smallville
I think it's the same producers,
thing?
And it's about Oliver Queen, and he's a really good... Oliver Queen.
I like that.
Now, Oliver Queen was in Smallville.
I didn't watch it, Chris. Sorry.
But I'm just,
God.
But he was a hunky guy. Girls loved him. But they're
you can't have an ugly cast.
And he's also a millionaire.
And he what?
On the show, he's also a millionaire.
What's millionaire?
No, he's a millionaire. He's a hero and he's a millionaire. Like Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Every typical superhero.
Which proves money is the ultimate super weapon.
But get on board, Chris.
The twist that they're giving this show, so for people who, I don't think the girls who watch CW are into the Green Arrow comic books.
Are into the comic book.
The show is starting out, I believe, where he has amnesia.
Typical.
And he has, and he has this incredible arrow shooting skill. And it's just called Arrow, even though the comic book's called the Green Arrow.
Well, they gotta make it sound cool.
Yeah, Arrow.
The Green Arrow. Why is it green?
From the producers of 90210. And I heard...
From the producers of 90210.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Did you...
And also...
what's that swimmer... Lochte?
I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Lochte.
What's his first name? Ryan? No, not Ryan. Ryan Lochte. He's going to be on an episode of 90210.
He's getting all
Rochester
these...
trivia.
Yeah.
Because I believe you said he's from Rochester.
He's one of them. So, I believe... I don't remember where... But he's a Rochester.
So, like Amy Wambach,
and then there's...
the soccer player.
Yeah. I forget, but there was, I guess... Some statistic that said, I don't know all the people, but that was just the big ones. Some statistic that a lot of Rochesterians born become Olympians. Yeah, are in the Olympics. I don't know what's in our water.
So Ryan Lochte, you'll see him without a shirt on.
I think the poor rower that got the boner, he didn't really have a boner, but he was from Pittsburgh, which is
he's from Rochester too.
Hey, of course, putting us on the map with your wiener.
Even I wasn't born and raised here.
Sorry,
I'm Rochesterian by injection. No.
Bye.
And so like I said, now, and for Kristyn and Oliver,
I like
because it was Kristyn's grandmother. And don't be embarrassed, guys, and stuff like that. I mean, how cool does Grandma have to be? Because Grandma was online for 7 freaking hours.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But Grandma is from the Highlands, Red Bank area.
Okay.
She knows Kevin Smith. Her daughter went to school with Kevin Smith. She goes, he's been in my house a bunch of times. I'm waiting in line to see this kid that I've seen.
I know. Like, I gotta wait in line for this
He's come over to my house. Why am I waiting here for? But it was for her grandkid. And so then, like, as hours went on, one of the production assistants from the AMC show brought her a chair, a little folding chair she could sit on. And it's funny, I could talk to the 12, 13-year-olds, and I had a whole conversation with Grandma because she used to work in, what about Kevin Smith?
That's really funny.
And she went to Kevin Smith in his high school, did a spoof on the Honeymooners. Okay. Probably one of the first sketches, one of the first things he ever wrote that was performed for people.
Okay.
Before his movies and stuff like that. And she was there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like...
So she's, like, been there from the beginning.
Yeah, and I'm like... So I said, you're surrounded by people who would kill to be where you've been. Position.
She's like,
Yeah, and to her it's like nothing.
It's just this young kid that she knows. That's been over the house and... That's so, I don't know.
And she was cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? And so, even a shout out to Grandma, even though she doesn't... she had no idea what a podcast was, and I wouldn't expect her to. But she used to work at a film company, and with that, as soon as I had Rochester, she goes, "Oh, Kodak!" And and I was telling her like
having a little trouble.
How every day on the news there's Kodak is going out of business. Rochester's going to sink into the ocean.
We're gonna die. We're just gonna fall off the end of the world.
Everyone believes, everybody up here is so alarmist about fucking about Kodak
and Xerox and. We're going under, apparently. Nobody's going to be able to survive in Rochester without Kodak.
So
pretty sure everybody's moved on and retired and has another job.
Yeah.
Because they knew it was going under. Wasn't really a surprise.
And,
So come on, tell them the big news.
No, let me get to everyone else. I'm building up. So then they had these guys running around selling water, $2 a fucking bottle for $2 for a bottle of water, $2 for a can of Brisk, which I was in the heat. I fucking bought one.
I would buy like 6.
So what happened was first these guys come out, they come around 2 or 3 times, then they come out with a girl in a bikini top and little poom poom shorts.
They gotta get it going.
Which I'll probably.
I'm going to post all those pictures. Nerds excited.
Yeah, I mean, and then there was actually a bit that they had for the Comic Book Men show where Bryan Johnson is talking to the girl selling the water. And then they tell us, don't look at the camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at the girl in the fucking bikini top and boom boom shorts. And,
why would I want to look at your face?
And, like, don't look directly into the camera. And, and then we all had to sign waivers, so I don't know if I'm violating the waiver by talking about it.
Way to go, Chris. You're always trying to get us sued.
And not only do you sign the waiver, they take a picture of you holding up the waiver to your face. So by the time they got to me, the number on my waiver was 450. And I would say there was about 50 people behind us. Now, I'm pretty sure there's other people that were there, not everybody that signed the waivers and stuff like that. Because Kevin Smith said, I'd like to thank the 1,000 people who showed up, 1,000 plus. It could have been 1,000 plus. I mean, like, I waited online for 7 hours, so it was definitely, might have been 1,000. Because at the end of the night, Kevin was talking to everybody. Even though they told us, that you're only going to take, once they got towards, after like 8 o'clock, Kevin was only taking pictures, like, as a group.
Right.
And he's not signing anything anymore.
Guess who got a solo shot?
I got a solo shot. And it shows you, all my pictures, the sun is up. When I finally have a picture with Kevin Smith, it's fucking done. Nighttime. So I met Jay Muse. I got a picture with him, which everyone knows, for those who don't know, from Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay.
Hey, lady, ever have an asshole licked out by a fat man in an overcoat?
That's him.
And from AMC's Comic Book Men,
I didn't see the Jay's photo. That
I didn't.
Is that the one that didn't?
I tried to post it and it didn't
upload.
I met, for people who are fans, Micheal Zapzic and Ming Chen of I Sell Comics, Bryan Johnson of Tell 'em Steve Dave. These are podcasts on Kevin Smith's Smodcast.com. And now, I mentioned this in an earlier episode, I supported the Kickstarter for this woman, Janine Frederick. Mm-hmm. And she had a Kickstarter, and one of the prizes was give $50, go on Tell 'em Steve, not Tell 'em Steve Dave, go on I Sell Comics with Mike and Ming.
Yeah.
Mike and Ming in the morning. And so, I spoke to both Mike and Ming. And I said, look, I don't want to call in. Can we just show up live in person? And they were like, sure. And as a matter of fact, Mike was like, I hate Skype and phone calls.
Right.
I prefer you show up in person. So
which
sometime
we can do
in November, we're going to go.
Better not interfere with Thanksgiving.
Oh, no. Fuck it. I'd rather be on the podcast. I don't think they're going to be podcasting around Thanksgiving.
I don't think so either.
Mike has a wife and kids. Ming has a wife and kids. They're not going to do anything hardcore around Thanksgiving.
So, yeah, so we're going to go.
So we're going to be on
We don't know
ISO
the
Comics
date yet.
sometime in November. Now, what I'm hoping is with The Walking Dead, after The Walking Dead, they're going to be giving AMC's Comic Book Men.
Right.
To hold up a little gap, so there's no, because since there's a gap between the East Coast showing and the West Coast showing, there's that other show, Talking Dead. Mm-hmm. So Comic Book Men, with the huge giant lead of Walking Dead and all the fans of that show, people are going to be watching Comic Book Men,
right,
and then watching Talking Dead. So hopefully all this stuff happens sometime in around November. So people are watching Comic Book Men, they'll start listening to the podcast if they're not already listening to it now, and we're going to ride that wave, baby. Yeah. So,
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and I met so many cool people yesterday. I mean, I'm shouting out the people immediately in line. Also a shout out to, Charlie and Rita.
Charlie Sheen.
And, and Rita was, I don't want to be insulted. Rita was a hottie. And she showed up with her friends, and her friends were hotties too, but.
Go Rita!
I don't think they were really fans of my humor. Which is, if you're a fan of Kevin Smith, how could anything I say offend you?
What did you do to them, Chris? What did you do?
Just being me.
Yeah. See?
She
not
just
good for our publicity,
Her and her friends just seem like annoyed at me.
Yeah, they're like, alright.
Shut up, fat fuck.
Alright.
But Rita's a hottie, no offense.
I don't think that's offensive.
You're a hottie, girl. I don't know if...
You go, Rita.
I don't know if Charlie was her boyfriend or not. But
not really sure who Charlie was.
Don't hate Charlie.
You were ignoring Charlie and going for Rita and her friends?
Well, she just looked angry at me all the time, so...
Hey, Rita. We love you, Rita.
But, they were cool enough. I interviewed them also,
there was some talking.
Don't get mad. But like I said, even though it was 7 hours in line, it didn't really feel that bad. Also, a shout out to Arty. Arty, I met him right around the corner, closer to the comic book store, but since we were around the corner, there's a place called Surf Taco right next door to the Secret Stash. Went there, got myself a burrito. Of course, it's a Red Bank, New Jersey taco store. It's a white boy taco store.
It's a white boy taco.
I didn't see the one Mexican. The only Spanish guy I saw was like. And his name was Caesar, because the other guy...
Cesar.
And, he's like the bus boy.
Yeah.
Picking up. And it's sad. Now...
and he's like, probably like, I can make this fucking burrito. Look how they're fucking
and Surf Taco had all these, like, cute girls and tight t-shirts and little poom-poom shorts.
Hey, it works!
But they're the ones that are,
poom-poom shorts.
They're cute, but...
Make me a fucking taco that...
Yeah, I want a real burrito.
Taco. By the bus boy. What if you're like, I'll take the bus boy. Can you bring him back there for a quick minute? He's just going to make me a taco. Yeah.
You and me are going to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And, I got their Maverick burrito, which I would give a 3 out of 5. Or a 3.5 out of 5.
This is doing taste testing now.
I'm just saying, I'm a fan of burritos, and it has nothing to do with my
burritos.
That has nothing to do... Because burritos aren't really Puerto Rican.
Perfected, or whoever perfected the burrito, I don't know.
It's the world's perfect food.
Yes, it is.
It's
everything. And you could take stuff out, you can add stuff in that you want.
It's every food group.
It's amazing.
Meat.
You cannot go wrong with a burrito.
Dairy.
I don't know one person who was like, no, I couldn't go for a burrito. Like, burrito. I'm like,
bread,
Even if you're a vegetarian, you can go for a burrito.
There's veggie burritos. There's soy burritos and all that good stuff.
Tofu burrito. We got you.
And it being surf taco, the fish burritos for like the ones that it's okay to eat fish and chicken.
And they're actually good. I've had a fish taco.
Yeah.
But, I prefer...
It sounds like pussy, right? This is...
fish taco. Or like pink taco.
Yeah. Hot taco.
Hot taco.
And so...
Spicy taco.
Open all night. Come eat them out.
Oh God.
So, Arty, I met Arty in Surf Taco, and unfortunately I didn't get the name of his friends. I think one of his friends, I forgot her name. I think she liked us on Facebook.
Did Rita like us?
Arty was cool as shit. What was that?
Did Rita like us?
I don't think I saw Rita on our page.
Damn it!
But I don't know. I think Arty, and also Ray. Arty and Ray were, I believe, Ray told me straight up that he's a comic book writer.
Okay.
Like, he has ideas, and he just hasn't found the right artist yet. So if there's any aspiring comic book artists out there,
contact Ray.
And you're looking for someone to write with, contact us. I'll hook you up with Ray, or just find him on our Facebook.com/2strangers1podcast, because he's looking for an artist. And he says, he's yet to meet an artist that can capture the grand. I tell you, people, I wish I can say I was kidding. That was yet another technical difficulty for no reason whatsoever. Oh, this technical difficulty is brought to you by Punk77 NYC. They can be reached at Facebook.com/Punk77. They are friends of mine, friends of the bar, friends of our bar. Oh my God, they're friends of my bar. And Punk77, which is a great, great group. I've seen them live myself. In September 8th, which is about a week away, they'll be playing Fontana's Bar, September 8th at 9:45. And for those of you in New York City, you like punk music, you like loud music, Fontana's Bar is on 105 Eldridge Street in beautiful Lower East Side, Manhattan. Their number is 212-334-6740. Once again, 212-334-6740. But just get your ass down there, September 8th, 9:45. Let me see. Speak up. I don't know if I can hear you.
Hello? My mic's dead.
No, your mics should be fine. Just give me a second while we iron it out. This is just technical difficulties all over the place. The computer just decides to stop working. It just says, fuck you, not going to work.
Fuck
you. And suck up. There we go. Now
Welcome, world.
Welcome back. Okay. And, all these new people, we have like a whole bunch of new listeners probably listening to this episode. It's like, I thought this was some professional shit. And I'm like, no, you got a guy with iron-ons on a friggin' t-shirt that he made at Michael's.
At Michael's.
Okay, so like I was saying, Ray is looking for an artist. And like I said, Arty, I was talking to Arty because somehow me and Arty got into talking about my book, Two Strangers, One Podcast, and the main character in my book is an aspiring comic book artist. Double jackpot. What did I say?
Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's just where my brain is at. Everything's twos. I'm like Two-Face. I'm stuck. Everything is Two Strangers, Double Jackpot, which can be purchased at www.doublejackpot.us. $15 for hard copy.
Here we go.
$5 for a PDF. But I believe Arty might have been a comic book writer himself, because he's like, "Oh, are you an aspiring comic book artist?" And I was like, "No, I wish. I don't have that kind of talent. I wish I could."
That's crazy talent. I wish I could draw.
I gotta find somebody that could like do caricatures of us. Caricatures of us as
You can do it on the streets of New York City. You know, those stupid people that sit there.
I had one that I had made like in Great Adventure, but I mean like something podcast related, like, with us, maybe with like headphones on or something like that, and holding a microphone. We got to take a picture. We don't have an official.
We've been saying this since like episode 1.
And I keep like, if it wasn't rainy today, I would say let's go to the backyard. Well, I mean, I could give my camera to my stepson and just say, take a freaking picture of us.
Should we be artistic?
I want to be I want to hold the microphone, but since I'm kind of like a pseudo biker, I want to wear like my leather jacket, maybe my Two Strangers One Podcast shirt.
I'll wear halter top of my Poom Poom shorts. And I don't know, my hot dog costume. I don't know. I'll find something.
The hot dog costume
with a microphone.
Which now that we've actually hit 300 likes on Facebook, right. I reposted my fat dancing video.
I was gonna say you got to put that back up. So now all the
new listeners, check out youtube.com.
That's under
I think if you just on YouTube, Two Strangers, One Podcast, fat dancing,
a sexy big man,
and
Speedos, click it.
And you have to understand, I'm talking to these people online, and I mention it, and
Chris.
everybody's smartphone comes out.
I was gonna say they're all
everybody, and
what was
people
it like
were
watching
cracking
them
up.
watch you?
It's so awkward, but I'm like,
you're like
I put it out there for strangers to see anyway, so I shouldn't.
But you don't see their reaction.
I'm not like
when
ashamed of my body, but it's like it is funny to be standing there to see someone dancing around in underwear.
Like what they really look like and then what they acted out. And
like, here's a guy. They're looking at me fully clothed, and then they go look at this video, and I'm in my Spider-Man underwear. This
hair like poofed out.
But he has a shirt that says Two Strangers, One Podcast. It's all part of the promotion, people. And so
who else
I guess what we've been building up to, and
the big
finale. I mean, I want to share it, but I don't want to get big deep into it, but you know, at the end of the episode, I usually play a commercial for Kevin Smith advertising my book. Long story short, Kevin Smith remembers me, remembers my book.
Right.
And
it's all on,
and I don't want to jinx it, but Kevin Smith has spoken to his agent about representing me.
Right.
So he kind of gave me the
Chris
contact
got all
information.
Smiley and was giddy.
And I'm still like in shock. I'm still like, because you know, when you admire somebody,
and that's only they're there,
and then they're like, oh no, what you made is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the guy who's entertained me for years and years and years, and for him to say, oh
like
no, what you
word.
did is alright. You know, like, I'm, you know, like,
do you even remember the conversation? Like, it happened so fast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like, you're so excited during the conversation, then after you're like, wait. What just
well,
like,
luckily I had a tape recorder.
Yeah,
going.
you have it recorded.
But and in all fairness, I did say, Kevin Smith, I'm recording. So I do have it. I do have it. I have an audio record of Kevin Smith saying that he digs my work and he recommended me to his agent.
Yeah.
And so
if you ever forget,
there is one woman, there is one agent before all of this happened that is interested in my book, but I was waiting for an answer back, and I don't know if it's just taking a while for her to read the book, you know, because when I had a woman just read the first 20 pages, she said, I'll contact you in 3 weeks, you know, so.
Okay.
You know. Well, I guess it's to be fair only because, you know, literary agents are busy. Yeah. And actually, you know, Kevin Smith's agent is a Hollywood agent, not just a literary agent. And so.
Give me a page, I'll contact you in 3 years.
You can, you know, you can visit www.doublejackpot.us and buy your, get the book now before it becomes a phenomenon, before it becomes the next big thing, and I'm just like, it's funny because I'm usually so loud and obnoxious and like, I'm actually like humble, like,
he was so humble during the he's like, hey, what's going on?
Kevin Smith, and like,
were you
to
sweating?
think that
I would have been profusely like,
I was just like, I was so in awe and just like, cause I love Kevin Smith. I mean, the first time I ever heard of Kevin Smith, it was my boy Andy, and it was about Mallrats, right. Kevin Smith's second movie. Mm-hmm. And
was Clerks the first one?
Clerks was the first one. And I heard of Clerks, but to me, I thought it was just part of, I honestly, when I first saw and heard of Clerks, I thought it was going to be one of those pretentious art house movies, which were big in the 90s. There was a big indie scene in the 90s. I mean, back in those days,
I just remember laughing really hard at like the end of Clerks, like after the funeral or whatever, and they're like, the fucking body fell out. Like where you tipped over, they like leaned on the coffin.
Randall knocked over the coffin.
The body fell out.
And and I just, because in Mallrats, the very last scene of the movie, while the credits are rolling, are Jay and Silent Bob walking around with an orangutan.
Yeah.
Orangutan.
A tang.
Is it orangutan or orangutan? I don't know. But so
orangutan.
Tang?
Tang. I think it ends with a G.
Okay, orangutan. Because I've heard people say orangutan. Well, okay, orangutan, and they're walking away, holding hands with the monkey,
like on the
or
road.
The ape, or whatever. I think it's an ape or whatever. Is it an ape or monkey? I don't know. Some primate, and they're walking while the credits are going down. So the rumor that my friend Andy told me was that,
it ends with the G, orangutan.
Here's, Kevin Smith getting money from the studio, and he kind of like said it as a joke, like, I want to get a monkey. And the studio,
got him one?
No problem, said, okay. So now...
Is that his monkey
for him,
at the end?
It's not his monkey, but he was kind of like, because Clerks did well, so now Mallrats being his first, like, real studio movie, they were, for the lack of a better term, throwing money at him.
Okay.
So he said, like, as a joke, and we're going to have a monkey in it.
And
nobody, like, blinked an eye and said, okay. So they got a monkey. So when he saw that, like, people were serious about it, he's like, we got to put a monkey in this movie.
Yeah.
And so even though it has nothing to do with the movie,
it's
just Jay and Silent Bob walking down the highway, doing, for the fans of the old Incredible Hulk show, when the Incredible Hulk used to just walk down the road, like he was like, there'd be that music, dun 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 dun. It's actually a very beautiful, like they're walking, it's like the sunset, walking down the highway, holding hands up with a freaking...
They're all on each side.
With an orangutan. So when my friend told me that there's a monkey in a movie just because the guy wanted to, as a joke, decided to put the monkey in a movie, I fell in love. I said
if we make a movie, what should be our... Because we're not making movies. What would
We'd have to put a monkey in it. I don't know.
We have to put...
I don't know.
What would be something
I'd want a clown. Just to scare you.
Just pops up at a random... Okay. The It Clown.
The It Clown with like half his face
be like
is monsterized.
Yeah. Can't be a regular
Pennywise.
The It Clown. Just pops up. And you're
they all float down here.
Could be right at the end. Like the credits are going and just jumps out. Like those emails.
It'd be like a comedy,
that are like,
but like at the
follow
end.
this line, and then something pops out at you.
Just like, like in The Exorcist, like when they had like, it was subliminal, but not really subliminal, where like it would flash to like this weird, creepy face, like in white paint, like in The Exorcist, there's there's a scene where it's supposed to be real scary, and there's literally one frame.
Oh, where
it's like this face with white paint on it and like red lips, and it's really creepy, and you can find the picture online now, but back in the day when there was film and there was such thing as like people freeze framing.
Yeah.
A lot of people got creeped out. They're like, what the fuck was that? So I would do like that. I want one frame of like
some
the creepiest fucking clown or monster, even like in the middle of a comedy. And just,
it's like, did you guys see that?
Like in Fight Club,
right?
In Fight Club when he puts a dick, he takes like a picture of a dick, but he splices it into like a kid's movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, when the courageous dog meets the happy cat, they get a big, nice, thick cock. and end of reel 3. And so, Red Bank, New Jersey. Not exactly. I understand why it's there because that's where Kevin Smith grew up. Mm-hmm. But it is a very pretentious, uptight.
So there was a lot of old people.
There were a lot of old people.
What's going on?
There was literally about 10 people that have came by while we were online. What's this for? What's going on? People looking at us irritated. Yeah, who? I mean, there was like one old person that heard of Kevin Smith. I mean, besides Grandma online with me.
His grandma.
But yeah, at least that grandma was cool. She was very hippie. She had like a long ponytail all the way down, like past the middle of her back.
And shit. Like, I know Kevin.
And like people were like looking at us like annoyed and angry. It was all luxury cars and there was actually a woman. Mind you, we got all these people online. A woman went down the wrong way.
Oh, of course.
Down the one-way street in front of everybody. And everyone's like, hey, what are you doing?
Stop!
And it's one of those women, too much makeup, too much, diamond rings on every finger, too much jewelry.
My kind of people.
And, just, what's going on? You got 10,000 people telling you you're going the wrong fucking direction.
Yeah. What road is it?
People were giving us the stink eye. They did not want us there.
Yeah. And it's just like one line, like on the street.
It's just one line. And
we're interfering one line.
And people, don't get me wrong, during the day, like when Jay Muse came out, or Kevin Smith came out a bunch of times, and, or guys from the show came out, the crowd would go, whoa! Yeah. But that's about it. It's a Sunday.
It's not a concert.
And although there's people living around there, it's pretty much like a residential, it's pretty much a commercial like, there's a bunch of restaurants and bars and delis in the area. It's not where people are living.
Like their house.
But people would drive by and you just see the cars slowing down and people giving us dirty fucking looks, man. All these old people, like, they didn't want us there. But Red Bank, New Jersey is a very, very uptight, you know, and then, like, you know, I think Ray went to get his wife and kid some food or whatever, and, like, he got totally ripped off. Oh, really? I paid $8 for a fucking burrito.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, $8, you know, up here in Rochester, there's a place Soul Burrito, which is like my favorite place, and their burrito's $6. So I can't, it's a pretty hefty price. But, I mean, it is a meal. I guess if you, you know, if you laid out all the contents, it would probably fill a plate. But, you know, Red Bank, New Jersey, you know, even though it's the home of Kevin Smith, it's the home of the Secret Stash, the people who live there did not want us there, did not like seeing us there.
You think they'd be used to it?
It's a Sunday, it's a Sunday night, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's Sunday afternoon,
it's not
really.
Like it was like you guys were having a block party. You guys were waiting in line.
And you know, there was no music blasting, and, you know, and then,
like,
oh my God,
weren't out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
deputy dog cops, oh my God, they were just, like, once you turned that last corner to, like, because the line went down the block, down the, you know, made a left or whatever, make a right. Then there was a whole parking lot behind the store. Went through the parking lot all the way back around, back out to the street.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm walking towards the end of the line, I'm walking and I'm like, why follow these people? I could see the end of the line over there. Like, I kept walking straight and I'm like, just to make sure this is the end of what's over there, right?
That part is over there.
And then the guy was like, yeah. And so,
now, did you ever see the movie Red State?
Oh, loved it.
Did you? Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I remember when the previews came out. I mean, it was in.
Did you see it?
No, I remember when the previews came out. I was like, this actually looks really good.
Do you have Netflix?
I have On Demand.
Oh, okay. I think you could.
I know it was on there at one point.
I think it's still on demand.
Yeah.
Now the deal with Netflix.
It looks really good.
I mean, yeah, the deal with Red State is that, you know, it's Kevin Smith's.
It's supposed to be like.
It was at first. They said it was going to be a horror movie.
Right.
And it is a horror movie in the weirdest sense because I mean, other than the fact that there's a movie and a lot of crazy shit happens, everything that happens in this movie is 100% realistic and believable. There is no...
I remember seeing the preview.
I don't want to spoil it. The end gets a little like, holy shit. But...
yeah, because it looked cool, and then I totally forgot to even see it. Like, I remember it was on demand, and I was like, oh, that's a movie I wanted to see.
It is so
and I knew it was
worth
Kevin
it.
Smith,
and obviously, I'm a fan of more of the comedy stuff.
Yeah,
you know, I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Kevin
I love
Smith
Dogma. But Red State, in and of itself, is such an impactful movie. It's got John Goodman. You know, John Goodman, badass isn't the right word. It's almost like he was a badass 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So... You know, he's kind of like...
He's like a retired badass.
He's like going into his glory days, but like, you know...
Like chilling.
Yeah, but the movie is fucked up. It is really fucked up. And so, you know, and I'm not really spoiling it, but, you know, John Goodman gets put in a position where, like, you can't be the hero.
No. Poor John.
You know, you can't, you know, and, but like I said, the movie, the scariest part, that's what, like a lot of movies, what makes some movies very scary is that all of this shit is very real. And it's loosely based on the Westboro Baptist Church, the God Hate Fags people.
Okay.
Now, just so Kevin Smith didn't get sued, they actually mention the Westboro Baptist Church and John Goodman actually goes, because they're talking about this family, and he goes like, oh no, even those Westboro people call these people crazy.
Oh, okay. Just to get that out there.
And it's real.
Because I just remember the previews for it, you know, recently. Like
watch it.
And I was like, oh, that's definitely a movie I want to...
I mean, chill yourself up before you watch it. Don't watch it if you're in a depressed mood. You'll fucking slit your wrist.
Oh, gosh.
But it's a good movie.
It looked cool. It looked different. Like a different style of Kevin Smith.
Yeah. And now he's doing... It started out to be one epic movie. Now he's actually turning into two movies. He's doing a movie, a two-part movie called Hit Somebody.
Okay.
And apparently it's based on a Warren Zevon song. I'm not super familiar with Warren Zevon or the song.
Idea.
But long story short, the first part of the movie is about a kid who wants to be a hockey player and his whole amateur rise. And the movie, and he just basically tells us, and if I'm not mistaken, when he's done writing it, Kevin Smith is just going to put the script online.
Oh.
Even before they start filming.
Yeah.
He's gonna put, you know, he's at that point, because these are his last two movies.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck. So he's gonna put the script online. You wanna read it? Here. Instead of some bullshit comingattraction.com trying to spoil it. Here, here's a fucking script for you. So the first movie is going to end literally like the moment before he takes the ice as a professional hockey player.
Oh, and then
the second movie is his career as a hockey player, and then like, you know, how it affects his life and stuff like that. And he's making this movie like as like a heartfelt, like, you know, watching this kid, and it's
how to get,
you know, because Kevin Smith is in love with Wayne Gretzky, and Wayne Gretzky, you know, Wayne Gretzky's father built a hockey rink in the backyard just so his son could...
I hear that a lot. Like, yeah, I guess it's really easy to do that.
Like minute
there's a kit you can get.
Oh yeah, there's a kit you can buy, and there's companies that for relatively cheap will put one in your backyard.
That's what we need, Chris. We'll do a podcast on ice.
And train my daughter Raven to be a hockey player. She'll be the first half Puerto Rican, half Native American female hockey player. Who knows? It wouldn't be a bad idea. If anyone wants to donate a hockey rink, I don't know how to play though, so I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. I'll buy EA Sports NHL 2012 or something like that.
Hockey for dummies or something. This is how you play.
So, like, it's not going to be a comedy, and it's going to be like. It's going to be one of those...
Like a heartfelt, is how...
Like watching The Natural, or
like Hard Work and...
what's that one? If you build it, they will come. A Field of Dreams. It's going to be like a Field of Dreams, The Natural, kind of like a love for sports movie that, you know, very inspirational.
Right.
And like I said, it sounds fascinating.
You know what was a great hockey movie? Was Miracle.
I never saw it, but
right at the end,
especially my friend Andy.
You know how the outcome is, like USA wins, and you're like, yes! It was a great movie.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Yeah, it
is one of those inspirational.
It was U.S. hockey team,
and you know, and Kevin Smith. Since you got hockey, Kevin Smith is like putting everybody in it. Like everybody's gonna have a role, and then he goes. Look, for all my fans, everyone who says, you know, I'd like to be in a movie, he goes, I'm doing a million hockey playing scenes.
Yeah.
So he goes, I can fill stadiums with fans.
Two Strangers One Podcast shirt, Chris shirt.
I gotta get a Two Strangers One Podcast.
I'll be in my boom boom shorts, boobs on the plexiglass. Perfect. We're in the movie. That's it.
So like,
look for us.
You know, and plus he's got to go to different arenas, so he's just going to have, all
the
fans, and you know he's going to fill all these stadiums. People are going to, if you get people to stand in line for 7 hours, you can get people to sit around in a hockey stadium and cheer and stuff like that, so, you know, that's his, I mean, he's still going to be involved in making movies. He's still going to be like producer. Now, like he says in the commercial for my book, he goes, Chris, if you make this movie, I get a taste. So, you know, and we'll screw you out of it.
He
is going to be touring movies where he's going to continue going around the country with movies that were made by other people but are under his banner.
Yeah, he had a part.
It's called, it's called Smodcast Pictures, and like he already has one lined up. But he basically said, he goes, I will tour around with your movie, but you have to prove to me that every studio has turned it down. He wants it in writing. Oh. So if Columbia turns you down, and Paramount turns you down...
Is this another surprise that I didn't know?
Oh, no. I would,
I didn't know any of this.
Oh, no, yeah.
You didn't tell me before.
Yeah, he's gonna... Even though he's retiring from making movies, he's not retiring from entertaining. So he's gonna be around for a while. So, like I said, in the commercial, he goes... Chris, if you make this movie, I want to taste. And in the commercial, which you'll hear in a couple minutes, he says for me to hook up with his agent.
Right.
So even the title executive producer, who knows, maybe he wants to sink some money into it. I would be fucking thrilled.
Be awesome.
And he goes, I got a taste. Okay,
take what you want.
You're the guy who gave me the break. I'll do it in a heartbeat. So we were well past the hour mark.
Are you gonna put the commercial at the end of this?
Yeah, I put the commercial at the end of every episode.
Well, I didn't know if it was a movie, like that part.
No,
what are you gonna do?
I played the audio for you. He said. He says he feels the book would be great as a script.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did.
That's what he said. And I mean, I would love to play that audio for the audience, but I think that's kind of I'll basically share the whole details with you, but I think playing for it's probably in bad taste. But Kevin Smith is interested in seeing this book
being made
into a script, which what the hell is making a script unless it's made into a movie?
Right, I didn't hear about the other movie places if they turned it down.
Oh, no one's turned it down yet. But then again, if I get it turned to a script and then it gets shopped around and other places turn it down, then Kevin will probably give us...
Bada boom. Making moves, folks.
So, and unlike other episodes, we actually have a new website.
I saw you.
We are now the official owners of Two Strangers, One Podcast.com.
So just go straight to there.
It will redirect you to our hosting site. Yeah, Podomatic is the people who host our site. Also, real quick, check out Livin Lame, our pod brothers from the West Coast. LIVIN hyphen Lame LAME. Check them out. They're on Stitcher. They're on iTunes, just like us. Cordero, the host of that show. Well, the main. Every show kind of has like a main voice. The main voice in that
Cordero.
show.
Cordero.
He's trying to bring us over to their side because they're starting up like a network. They're gonna have like 5 shows.
Oh,
and
be under a network now.
I know they're working on a show, all talking about music, and then like I mentioned in another episode, the Fox Den. With Carrie Fox and oh my god, I keep forgetting her husband's name. I don't think you ever entertaining got the husband's name.
But
it's going to be called the Fox Den, and I like her on Livin Lame, so I think it's going to work great. Them as it's a couple. Yeah. It's a guy and a girl talking on a microphone. I wonder where they got that idea from.
I don't know. No.
Love you guys, and so check out Livin Lame. Like I said, you could now officially visit as super easy to remember, super easy to tell your friends. Two Strangers, One Podcast.com.
Like us on Facebook.
You could like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Two Strangers One Podcast. Hover over the like button and click Show in Newsfeed. Our old website, which is still up, is doublejackpot.us. Once again, it's doublejackpot.us. And that will get you, either site will get you to all the links that you need. The link to iTunes, you can subscribe to us. We're available on the Stitcher app for Android devices and the Kindle Fire. Only subscribing to us and favoriting us on the Stitcher app or subscribing on iTunes is the only way to get every episode. Unfortunately, Facebook only lets us reach 1/5 of our actual audience. If you go to doublejackpot.us or twostrangers.com, twostrangersonepodcast.com, there's a link to buy my book, Double Jackpot. Get a piece of it now, guys, before it turns into a big Hollywood property. God damn it, we're going places.
This is it. Moving on up. Jefferson style.
All the links, our Twitter feed. I'm still selling stuff on eBay. Right now I only have like one thing up on eBay. I have like Aqua Teen Hunger Force Season 1. I'm going to put more stuff up because I was out of town and I don't want to be irresponsible and be out of town when it's time to sell things.
I was watching that the other day. I've seen it here and there. Uh-huh. You can't understand that freaking meatball. Is it the meat?
Meatwad.
Meatwad. Yeah. And the best is his name is Meatwad.
Meatwad. And,
see you later. I don't know.
We certainly hope you enjoyed listening to the show as much fun as we had recording it. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Holy smokes, what the hell happened to me? I should start that all over again.
Go for
it. I'll just say it. We certainly hope you enjoyed listening to the show as much fun as we had recording it. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn.
Don't be a stranger.
See ya!
Bye!
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking, are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women, Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea, man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will totally read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.